Welcome back to Cash Keyboards. My name is Repeat. Let's build a keyboard. Today we're going to build the Feker IK75 Pro. This is a 75% hot swappable gasket mounted keyboard. Features wireless, wired, and Bluetooth with RGB and of course the fancy knob. Unboxing, we have this fancy Feker packaging. It's got a really cool embossed plastic cover. Removing that reveals the alternative poly plate. We have an instruction booklet and the keyboard itself. We went with the translucent white. It's got a really nice side profile. It's got a really shallow USB-C, so that way it won't have much interference with any aftermarket cables. In the back, you see dual stage feet, a spot for USB, and a spot for wireless mode switching. Back in the box, we have a small accessories box. Opening up, we have a few items which include the keycap and switch puller, as well as an impressively long USB-C cable. Taking a look, you see the board is hot swappable. We got north-facing RGB, supports 3-pin and 5-pin. The back, you see two large batteries with 8,000 milliamp battery hour. So let's go ahead and get to work. First, we're going to separate the top of the case from the bottom of the case. There are no screws or anything like that, so you're just going to go with your pry tool, go along the seams to go ahead and separate it and pop it off. Once you have that, make sure you are careful when you're separating them, because since it is wireless, it has a battery pack, so you don't want to sever those wires. So when you separate everything out, you just go ahead and pick up and flip backwards away from you, so that way you can disconnect those wires. Remember, when removing wires, you'll use it from the pin itself, or the connector itself, if you will. Don't pull on the wires themselves. Here's a handy tip: if you are having trouble disconnecting the wiring from the connectors, if you grab your switch puller, you can actually remove them pretty easily. Once that's out of the way, we got this really nice rubber backing. To remove the outer case from this, make sure you remove the knob. So this rubber is adhered to the back of the PCB. It's got an adhesive on it that's actually pretty simple. As long as you go slow, you can remove it with no problems at all. Once we have that removed, we're going to go ahead and locate all the screws so we can separate the PCB from the plate. Okay, the screws are actually pretty small, so I had to use a very small screwdriver to get in there, but we did end up getting them all off. So with them all off, here's a look at the PCB itself. Make sure once you actually separate everything out, you're very gentle because the switch is really exposed. That switches your modes, and you don't want to damage that at all. So first, we're going to start off with a tape mod, as always. Once we got our tape mod done, we're going to go ahead and locate those screw holes, so that way we don't really have to fight for it when we want to put back the plate. Second, we're going to remove this flimsy foam here. We're not actually going to use it. It's very small. The 2 battery packs, you want to make sure you don't trap these wires in there. They are removable, but they are very hard to get off. So we're just going to leave them in place, though that way we don't damage the battery packs. This is my friend Constance. She reads a lot of books, and she has a YouTube channel called Constance the Reader. And we decided, since she had a really loud, clacky keyboard, that she needed a new one. A nice creamy one. So this is for you. I hope you enjoy. Her favorite color is purple, so we're gonna go with this nice lavender shade for the case filling. This is EVA foam at 3mm thickness. This should give the keyboard a nice creamy sound and eliminate, any of the case hollowness. Alright, once we got the EVA foam all measured, we're just going to use the simple small screwdriver to poke a little bit of hole and allow the little risers to come up through it. EVA foam is super easy to work with, it's super giving, so it's a really easy job. It's also really easy to measure and cut. So once that's all done, we're going to go ahead and button everything back together. And don't forget your knob. Alright, now it's time for switches. For this, it was requested that we do a creamy build, so we're going to use ATCO CS Crystal switches. They are a polycarbonate switch with 43 grams of actuation force and 18 millimeter extension springs, and they are a linear switch. These are lubed with 205G0 as well as super lube for the springs. Alright, now that that's all done, and my god, the crystal switches on a white keyboard just look really, really beautiful. For the keycaps, we wanted to keep it nice and simple. These are Jomkes PBT keycaps. These are a color gradient keycaps shifting from pink to blue. They are cherry profile keycaps, and yeah, I love them. They felt good, they looked good. They weren't super crazy, super flashy. The color on them popped. It was really nice. And here it is. This is my friend Constance. She reads a lot of books. She has a YouTube channel called Constance the Reader. You should check her out.